Hot take, maybe. But I think there's this sweet spot between realistic faces and cartoony faces that just hits different. You know what I mean? Some people prefer drawing faces a bit more to the stylized side, like cartoony or very manga-esque. And other people like drawing facial proportions that are more realistic. And then there are people who draw stylized, but you can really see how their knowledge of realistic facial and head proportions makes their art all the more intricate and just kicks it up a notch. It's just the best of both worlds, at least to me. I already showed you how to draw some run-of-the-mill manga face if you want something easy like that, but today it's time to get detailed. And once you get the hang out of this, you can apply this basic idea to practically every character, be it your own characters or fan art. Hi guys, my name's whatever. And after spending the last 3 weeks purely with reviewing and fixing your art, in case you missed it, check out the whole playlist here. Maybe you want me to review your art as well. I got a lot of comments asking why my art doesn't look like some cookie cutter Kirito looking ass. And yeah, there are artists out there whose faces don't look like your standard anime art, but rather like a more mature version. Like I said, I've made tutorials about drawing these run-of-the-mill basic anime faces already, but what I want to do here is to focus on more mature looking faces. Because if you focus on practicing something like this and then apply your typical anime features to it, well, you get the idea. So that's what we're gonna do today. As always, my videos are all scripted, edited and animated completely by myself, so I'd be really happy to have some support. Giving a like is always an immense help. And with that out of the way, let's get drawing. Like a sir. Okay, now go ahead and tell me what you think. Where's the difference between these faces? Some of you might have guessed it, but I'ma say it anyway, it's proportions. They obviously all have the same facial features like eyes, noses, mouths, but the way they are proportioned and placed is very different. But yeah, I'll just quickly show you what I mean by that. I'm just gonna try to adjust these proportions to the stylized drawings to be the same size and placement as the ones from the more realistic portrait. And yeah, that's now a pretty much perfect blend out of those two styles. So what we are going to do now is to learn quote-unquote realistic proportions so that you can level up your drawings by leaving the cookie cutter A1 picture colored looking style behind. Just a little heads up though, I'm not saying there's better or worse art out there. You can draw however you like, but I genuinely feel like a lot of you guys want to leave your current basic anime art style behind when I read your comments. So that's simply what we're doing now. Also, I mean, just look at it. Okay, now there are quite a lot of ways how to draw a realistic proportioned head, and you can read into whichever one you like. Give it a quick Google search. I'm just gonna use my AI assistant to list them all off for me. Wait. How did you do that? Well, that's my browser. It's Opera. You might have heard of it by now. They reached out to me, and since I already had Opera pre-installed and I use it for working on my projects anyway, I was glad they wanted to sponsor me. I like to multitask a lot, so especially for researching videos, having an AI assistant like Aria on my sidebar saves me so much time when it comes to writing scripts. With this browser, you also only have to highlight a text in order to translate it or even get a quick explanation that way. Again, it's super helpful when it comes to researching. It also features messengers like the Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp, so with the click of a mouse button I always have a shortcut to send people that one sticker of my little brother that he doesn't want me to use. There's also an ad blocker that comes pre-installed as well as a VPN. All free, all included, no add-ons or extensions necessary. There's also every big social media service that you could think of right where you need it. I really like this idea of having an extra browser sidebar. It's so useful, every browser should have that. If you want to support me or would want to use a new browser anyway, you could give Opera a shot and download it via my link down there. Like I said, it's free and it's also an honest recommendation from me to y'all. Okay, now out of all of these methods, I think the one people are most familiar with is the Lumis method. I think most of you have seen this kind of Lumis head with these guidelines before. It's pretty iconic. I also like to use this technique from time to time, so we're just gonna use this method for now. So let's check that one out. I know, it looks intimidating at first, but that's what I'm here for, to help you understand all of this. It's really just a matter of practice and memorizing a couple of shapes. I especially like how geometrical it is, because that way you can draw it by just using basic shapes. Okay, I'll just give you a very quick crash course on the Lumis method here, so we're just gonna make a little base here so that you get the hang of the dimensions. The Lumis method is a method that's very closely orientated to the human skull. And the human skull actually isn't a perfect circle, so if you take a closer look at it, you'll see what I mean by that. And with this very simple base, you now have so many things unlocked at once. You now only have to fill in the blanks. The middle of your face is right in the middle line. Your jawline starts right on the other middle line. Your brow line is exactly on the horizontal middle line, and so on. Like I said, with this Lumis method, it's basically just about filling in the blanks here. So let's try and make some very simple base heads with these proportions. Let's go for the side view here, because I think that's a quick and easy example. Also, I heard that you guys like to see me draw once in a while, so I'll just do it this way. We're just gonna start off with a circle, since, well, that's an obvious one. And also, if you guys still can't draw a circle, I did upload a quick 60-second tutorial on YouTube Shorts about that, so yeah, there you go. Like you saw before, you also have this crosshair at the side. I think that's always immensely helpful. Now, everything you need to do here is to just drop down a line, and that's basically it. You now just have to fill in the blanks. I mean, you already have a line for your eyebrows, right? You already have an indicator for your nose as well, so double that, and now you have your chin. And on the top side, there's the hairline. You just have to keep in mind that all of this is the same distance. And with that, you would now have a realistically proportioned face. You know, I like to envision facial features as building blocks, like Legos. So that's how you would place facial features here. Now let's take a timeout and take a look at a strongly stylized face in an anime style. And I think you don't have to be like a Da Vinci to see how big of a difference there is when it comes to placement and proportions. With the Lumis method, you would now usually start drawing in the rest of the facial features, but that depends on if you would really want to go into a more realistic or a more stylized way. So if you're still scared that this method leads to your face looking like handsome Squidward, don't worry, you might as well just take facial features from anime characters and apply them to these proportions we've drawn here. Yeah, I think that might also look quite decent. And if you take a look at the chart of the thumbnail of this video, well, just like I've promised, I've just shown you how you can get this exact middle ground between realistic faces and anime. And this works with every character. After all, every face consists of 2 eyes, 1 nose, and a mouth. Okay, yeah, almost every face. You can stop now! Anyway, maybe this side view was a bit too easy for some of you all, so let's end this out by taking a look at these proportions from a 3/4 kind of view, so you can see the Lumis head with all of these proportions from the side and from the front simultaneously. Now, if all of that's too much for you, or you just want all of this broken down in a very easy step-by-step kind of way, maybe check out my book. And there's an easier version from every angle explained along with the things like drawing bodies, muscles, and so on. It's even available on Amazon. It's called Draw Like a Mangaka, in case you want to order a copy for yourself. Okay, so just like I showed you before, your head technically isn't a perfect circle, so you would actually have to cut it off at the sides. And after that, you would add the crosshairs. I always preach how important it is to be able to draw in a 3D kind of way, and this is where you can really tell if you're able to draw in a 3D way or if you still need to practice before drawing faces. And just like with the side view from before, you would draw the hairline, eyebrow line, and the line for the nose and the one for the chin. Now the only thing left here would be to connect all of it with a jaw and complete the face shape with that. And that's pretty much it. The next step would be to just add some placeholders for the eyes, nose, and mouth. It's actually the very same thing as it is with the side view from before, it's just a lot trickier because you need to view all of this in a 3D kind of way. That's why I showed you the side view first, it's a lot easier to draw as well as it is to comprehend. And again, that's a very surface level Lumis head. You can use this template to basically draw any character. You guys really liked my Instagram post where I drew One Piece characters, so let's draw Kizaru once again. You know, just as a little proof that this actually works the way that I'm advertising it to. And also, well, you might have noticed it already while watching this video, but I'm literally spending weeks on making these. Especially animating's really hard, so if you would like to give this video a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe, that would be swell. I've got loads of other tutorials on my channel, by the way, from drawing bodies all the way to drawing your own manga. So yeah, maybe check these out sometime if you're interested in that. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next upload. Goodbye.